Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Gotta go, in and out.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Now Jones.
That swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He'll buy some time right.
This one into the hands of Harris on the crossing route.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. His fourth touchdown on the year.
And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in.
And this is caught at the 20.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
To throw again on second down. Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On third down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. but I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that earlier.
This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Jones finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run again with Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd and 7, Jones escaping the pressure right, and it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Throwing Jones. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. This guy's been driving down the field, but defensively, once he got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
York able to send this one through.
And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. A solid stiff arm. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 70 yards. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Mixon is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Now Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll bring him back within 4.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up the touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Back to throw. Jones. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Steelers are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Harris running straight ahead.
And there to make the tackle, Jonathan Abram.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well.
Yeah. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and the pressure gets to him again. Hassan Reddick, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
York able to send this one through.
And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
14 more yards. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Powers through him. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 31, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for them. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off. It's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. To try again after the sack, Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And this drive was almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones in trouble, and he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll be out right at the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They hand this off to Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 70 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And he's got his target, Harris. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. 21 yards there on 3rd down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. It's brought in by Harris. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Cade York on now for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. York able to send this one through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And the slot man goes in motion left. To throw again on second down. Wilson. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
And the Browns are back within a score.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he's got him back within a field goal now. It's 16-13.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Jones' throw going into the hands of Williams.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Jones
fires the out route and completes it to Harris. He's got room at the 30.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man complete. That's Harris. Touchdown! A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by York is up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Michael Dixon sets the kickoff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. Got his man, it's caught. for a Steelers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. York on now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Cleveland. 57 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Eluding the pressure right. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Steelers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Jones.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10.
Jones throw going to be caught by Davis. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. And this offense on third down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Buying time to his left. And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Mike Williams.
45 yards.
And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter.
They're going to run it with Harris. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2.
And now the rookie's free. The 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. That kick return falls 1 yard short of the all-time mark as it goes down as a 108-yard return. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll give it to Mixon. And he takes this one in for a Browns score.
Joe Mixon, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, in that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On the keeper, it's Jones.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll run. Here's Harris. Stiff-armed him. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
111 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A lot of bulk out there, as you might expect, on that D-line to try to stop the run on 2nd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's Jones throwing on 4th down. That is caught. It's Williams.
And he is going to have the Steelers' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is caught by Williams. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
Yeah, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Pittsburgh, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with Villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys.